Hello and welcome to our stroke awareness video presentation. My name is Maria Xavier and I'll be presenting this video to you. In this video presentation I will be showing, sharing, raising awareness and mentioning the following. A short video clip explaining how a stroke happens, my own personal experience of witnessing a close relative having a stroke and the effects that this can have on a person and their close relatives, what you should do if you witness someone having a stroke, so we'll be looking at the FAST campaign, the UK Stroke Association, and lastly a local stroke support group will be looking at their activities and achievements. If you have any comments about this presentation, then please email me at network.xavier@gmail.com. I would just like to say, if you should be worried about your health, please contact your local general practitioner. Some of the materials used in this video presentation are from the National Health Service Choices and the Stroke Association website, which you can also access via a website search engine. And I would just like to commend these organisations for providing a great source of information in a variety of contexts. So now I'll show you a short video clip of how a stroke happens.
A stroke occurs when the flow of blood to part of the brain is cut off. A stroke is a medical emergency, and urgent treatment is essential. What causes a stroke? To function properly, brain cells need a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients, which they get from blood. When the blood supply to part of the brain is suddenly stopped, brain cells become damaged or die. This can lead to permanent brain damage or even death. Different areas in the brain control the function of different parts of the body, each receiving its blood supply from 4 main arteries in the neck and their smaller branches in the brain. The level of brain damage caused by a stroke varies greatly and depends on the blood vessel affected. A stroke may go unnoticed if only a small blood vessel is affected. But if a large blood vessel is blocked, it may lead to long-term disability or death. There are 2 types of stroke. Ischemic stroke is the most common type, most often caused by a blood clot, or a piece of fatty material blocking an artery, restricting its blood flow. Hemorrhagic stroke is when the walls of a blood vessel in the brain become weak and burst, causing bleeding and brain damage. Transient ischemic attack, TIA or mini-stroke, is similar to a stroke, but the brain's blood supply is temporarily blocked, and the effects of the blockage get better within 24 hours. The clot either breaks up quickly, or the affected area receives blood from nearby blood vessels. TIAs do not cause permanent brain damage, but are important because they are often a warning sign for a stroke. Other risk factors for stroke include increasing age, smoking, drinking alcohol to excess, obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. A healthy diet, stopping smoking, moderate alcohol intake, and regular exercise can all help to reduce the risk of getting a stroke. It is important to seek immediate medical attention if you have a stroke. The sooner you get help, the better the chance of a good recovery.
I remember when I was about 6 years old, I was playing and my dad was in the bathroom having a bath, and my mum was in the kitchen. She was preparing the family meal. It was a weekend because they were both at home, and my dad had been in the bath for some time now, but then all of a sudden he called out to my mum saying, can she come and help him, because one of his arms had gone limp and he couldn't move it. She dismissed it by saying that you've been in the bath for too long and that the water's cold and you've probably got cramp, which is why your arm's gone limp. A few moments later passed and he called out again to my mum, but by this time my dad, his speech had, been a bit distorted. He was really slow, and my mum started to panic at this point, and she rushed to him to see what was happening in the bathroom. I got scared because I saw my mum panicking, and then my dad was sounding strange. I wasn't used to him sounding like that, and I saw what he looked like. His face had sort of gone paralysed on one side of, his face basically was paralysed, half of his face, and at that point my mum called the ambulance, and the ambulance took my dad to the hospital, and sad to say, that was the beginning of the end for my father as I knew him. I mean, obviously he came home after a certain while, and having a stroke, the effects it had on my dad was that he became very angry, very bitter, he was lonely, he felt isolated, because before he was very active, and now he had to rely on his close family members and some professionals to take care of him when he needed to do like everyday tasks. My mum had a new role to fulfil now. It was a full-time carer, as well as keeping down a full-time job in a local hospital. For me, I'd lost my strong, hands-on, practical father. He used to take me out to visit his friends, his family, his place of work. He used to play with me, he used to have nice long conversations, and basically all of that stopped, which wasn't his fault. I was very young, so I wasn't really sure what was happening. So yeah, and my dad was very active within his community, so he lost all of that. Just changed his whole life. So now I'd like to talk about the FAST campaign, and this is all about what you should do if you're witnessing someone having a stroke. So we've got a leaflet here by the National Health Service, and it says, when stroke strikes, act fast. Face. Has their face fallen on one side? Can they smile? Arms. Can they raise both arms and keep them there? Speech. Is their speech slurred? Time. Time to call 999 if you see any single one of these signs. So this is the leaflet from the NHS. If you look inside briefly, it just says why you must act fast and how you can recognise the signs of a stroke. All this was shown in the video clip saying this is how a stroke happens. Okay. Now, the Stroke Association is a UK charity that provides information, advice and support in a number of formats, such as we have some booklets here from the Stroke Association. This booklet's called The Stroke Association. What is a stroke? When a stroke happens, preventing a stroke, after a stroke, and stroke rehabilitation at the end there. And we have the emergency contact cards. They also have a newsletter which comes out 4 times a year, autumn, winter, summer and spring. You can subscribe, give them a donation. We have here on this front cover Dr. Hilary Jones from the Daybreak team. I'd just like to get your attention on some of the items that they have for sale. We have here, if you look here, we've got the Nest H200, which is the hand rehabilitation system. It's designed to help you open and close your hand, perform daily activities and re-educate your muscles. Along here we have the NES L300, which is the drop foot system, and that's designed to stimulate the muscles in your affected leg, thereby allowing you to lift your foot while walking. There's other interesting topics in here, so if you want to know more about what's in the magazine, contact the Stroke Association. And also this charity campaigns to raise awareness and around strokes and to fund research into prevention and treatment as well. So according to statistical research, over 150,000 people in the UK have a stroke or a transient isometric attack, and basically that works out to be one person in every 5 minutes, and stroke is the biggest single cause of disability. The Stroke Association has kindly donated 2 recipe information packs. This one concentrates on food for African, Caribbean and also Indian cuisines. My favourite one here is a grilled Caribbean spiced chicken with fragrant bean salad. And this pack here concentrates on desserts, main courses and starters and drinks, and this is my favourite one, which is the peach and mango smoothie. So we've got menu 1 and menu 2 here, menu pack 1, sorry, and menu pack 2. So if you'd like to start healthy eating, or if you're interested in healthy eating, you can contact me via email if you'd like to receive those packs. Just like to mention that this video presentation will be making a financial donation to the Stroke Association. And now we're moving on to a local stroke support group. So I recently attended a local stroke awareness day event, and there was lots of health and social care organisations there, such as Smoking Cessation, Community Nutrition, and Community Dental Team, etc. Now, one of the aims of the club is to provide information and support to local people who have had a stroke. Now, this event provided an opportunity to enable people to be aware of the causes of strokes. And this local stroke support group was set up by a local resident in March 2008. Now, this local resident suffered a stroke themselves, and there was no other form of local support for people in this area with this medical condition. And this group has 173 members. For me, that's a big achievement. So to find out if there's a local stroke support group near you, you can contact the Stroke Association. This is the end of this video presentation. I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it informative. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.